Hi, my name is Michael Hernandez. I am an MBA student and I have a master's degree. One of the first things I want to ask everyone, if you can please close your eyes for just a couple of seconds. I want you to go into the recess of your mind and think of when you were small and raise your hand if at any one point you felt or wanted to be a superhero, and raise your hand. Now open your eyes. Look around. That's literally everyone. You know, a lot of people say superheroes can be, police officers. Personally, I am not good at a gunfire, and I would probably be the first one ducking underneath a table and all that kind of stuff. So gunfire, not going to work for me. Another person can say, you can be a firefighter. Well, I grew up in Miami. I'm not a person that loves the cold weather, so in the winter time when there's a fire and I have to put out a fire, I'll probably start huddling closer to the building to get the heat. I probably will not know when to back off and I'll burn to a crisp, just because I love the heat. So this cold weather, not my friend. So I can't be a firefighter. Now, there's other ways you could be heroes, but as I keep narrowing it down, there's certain things that would prevent me from doing it. But there's one thing that I could do, one thing that everyone here can do to be a superhero, and that is to donate blood. Every single time we donate blood, we save 3 lives. For instance, a newborn child, has enough blood in their system, which is a teacup. And, a pint, of course, is greater than a teacup. So we can actually help save multiple children just by donating blood. However, since 1983, a segment of the population hasn't been able to do so. And it's based on the history of this population. So in the 1970s, HIV started popping up, and it was known not as HIV, it was actually known as the gay cancer. And people were completely afraid of it because it started showing up first in the major cities and the major population areas where the gay culture was in San Francisco. And as time went by, more and more people started seeing splotches. They didn't know what this was, so it became known as the gay cancer. And as it was shown that this gay cancer was spreading out to the straight population, they started to then change it to HIV, along with trying to understand how it infects people and how it hurts people and how to treat it. So in 1983, the US FDA set a policy which was great at that time. It said if you're a gay man who has had sex since 1977 with another man, you should not be able to donate blood, because at that time they didn't have a way to test for HIV. At that time they didn't have a way to treat HIV. And at the time the blood centers were getting infected with HIV and they stopped it. However, since this ban has been in place, straight people can donate, gay men can donate if they either lie or they haven't had sex yet. And still we get, from the past 30 years since this ban has been in place, about 8 to 11 infections of HIV through blood transfusion. So the ban is working in the sense that it's not getting a mass infection, but it's no longer working because it's still not doing what it set out to do to begin with. And now that we have progressed 30 years later, we have, for instance, Oraquick, which just became approved by the FDA as the first in-home testing instrument that you can take home, buy over the counter, swipe your mouth, set it aside for 20 minutes, and you know your HIV status at that moment. And that is accurate up to 99%. And that's just an in-home test. When they test for your blood when you donate, they do it twice. And they do it through 2 very rigorous tests. Multiple studies that have come out from Canada and other places around the world have suggested that if the US were to open and remove this ban, 161 100,000 people are willing to donate blood and could be eligible to do so. That is stating a 1-year ban just to allow the HIV, if someone was infected, to cultivate, grow, and be noticeable and detected. So that there is nobody who says, okay, I'm donating blood, I do not show that I have HIV, but 2 weeks later I have HIV and I just infected the population. So this is to make sure that we don't have that problem. So a 1-year ban, kind of like what the UK has suggested in the past year. So in 2011, the FDA had a choice to vote for it or against this. And in 2011, the FDA denied, again, allowing men to donate blood. And it hurts. It was a 9-6 vote. It was very tight, very close. And a lot of the people said that they needed more studies, which I don't quite understand why, but there are plenty of studies out there. So I started a petition to remove this ban. The reason why I got into this work is because I am a gay man. And I am faced every day, whether to be that superhero or to finally be able, with my partner, to do something that every straight person can do and still be able to donate blood, which seems still slightly unfair. In 2003, Lawrence versus Texas was the Supreme Court decision that struck down sodomy laws in every single state, making consensual sex between 2 gay men legal. And yet, this policy still criminalizes gay sex. And that's why I've been going with this petition every single day for the past 8 months, almost 60 hours a week, working on this. I've learned so much from a lot of people. But the biggest lesson that I've learned that I want to part with all of you guys, that actually occurred last week. It was a lesson where I spent 20 minutes talking with this individual, very religious individual, started throwing the Bible quotes at me, and I'm telling them, this is not a gay rights issue, this is a human issue. And we started talking and talking and talking, he wouldn't back down, and I thought, okay, you know what, he's not going to sign this petition. And I told him, I have other people that I could sign this petition, and you've already taken 20 minutes of my time. I appreciate the conversation. If I had more time with you, I would definitely love to talk to you. And so we parted our ways. 5-10 minutes later, he comes back, and he says, I'm willing to sign this petition. I'm shocked. We just had a very rigorous conversation about how homosexuality is a sin in the Bible and everything. And I asked him in the end, why did you sign this petition? Because I'd like to know. And he said to me, I sin. My sins are completely different than yours, and of course I will pray for you to be straight. Travesty there, but I'll take a signature still, because one more signature is better than nothing. But the fact that you sin is not different than I sin. And I can donate blood, even though I'm a sinner in different ways. And I think even though you sin in this way, you should be able to donate blood. So coming from somebody who was really religious, that meant a lot. That knowledge, that gaining, just like in the previous talk, just talking to someone who you wouldn't normally talk to really imparts something different. And I just want to impart that to you. When people come and say they want to donate blood, let them donate blood. When people say they want to be a superhero to save lives, let them do it. And that's what I'm going to do.